Let's get real. Right now, there is only one thing standing between where you are and where you want to be. Your mindset. Not your money, not your connections, not your circumstances. It's how you think. That's what separates the top 1% from the rest of the world. Most people want to believe success is about luck, or talent, or some magic moment where everything falls into place. It's not. It's the mindset you build and live by every single day. Everyone gets the same 24 hours. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Oprah, you, me. Nobody gets bonus hours. The only difference? How those hours are used. The 1% don't waste time. They don't let distractions hijack their day. They don't scroll mindlessly through social media or drown in gossip. They are intentional. They attack their day with purpose. Ask yourself, how are you spending your 24 hours? Are you moving closer to your goals or drifting further away? The 1% make choices, not excuses. Every single day, they make tiny decisions that stack up. They choose work over comfort, discipline over laziness, growth over stagnation. It's not about being in the right place at the right time. It's about showing up, consistently, ready to get after it, whether they feel like it or not. You won't always be motivated. Motivation is a lie if you're relying on it to drive you. The 1% have something better: self-discipline. When you train yourself to do the hard things, even when you don't want to, you are building the armor you need to succeed. Challenges aren't roadblocks, they're training grounds. The 1% don't avoid problems, they look for them. They understand that every obstacle is an opportunity to get stronger. Comfort is a cage. Growth happens in the struggle, in the grind, in the moments where you'd rather quit, but you don't. Most people avoid discomfort. They retreat at the first sign of trouble. Not the 1%. They lean into it. They understand that the bigger the challenge, the bigger the reward. Mindset is a daily battle. It's not something you flip on once and forget about. It's a war you fight every day. Against fear, against doubt, against procrastination. The 1% have learned how to win that war. They feed their minds the right fuel: books, mentors, positive environments. They cut out toxic influences. They protect their energy like their life depends on it. Because it does. You can't think like the 99% and expect 1% results. It's not about being the smartest. Most people think success belongs to the most talented. Wrong. Look around. Plenty of smart people never do anything with their lives. Talent without discipline is wasted. The 1% understand that hard work beats talent every single day when talent doesn't show up. It's about being relentless, about refusing to quit, about getting up one more time than you fall down. Sacrifices are mandatory. The 1% don't have balance in the way most people think of it. They sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term gains. They miss parties. They wake up earlier. They stay up later. They invest in themselves while others spend on distractions. If you want an extraordinary life, you have to be willing to do what ordinary people won't. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to discover you. Stop blaming your past, your parents, your circumstances. No one is coming to save you. The 1% understand this. They are their own rescue mission. Your life changes when you decide to change it. It won't be easy. It will be painful. You'll want to quit. People will doubt you. You will doubt yourself. Do it anyway. Push through. Because here's the truth. The gap between you and the life you want isn't as wide as you think. It's not oceans, it's inches. It's the daily decision to think differently, act differently, and demand more from yourself. If you want to join the 1%, you have to start thinking like them. Own your 24 hours. Master your mindset. Start now. No more excuses. No more waiting. It's your time. Let's clear something up. Consistency beats intensity every time. Anybody can show up strong for a day, Anybody can work hard for a week. Anybody can stay focused when they're excited. But consistency, that's different. Consistency is about doing the work every day, especially when you don't feel like it, especially when no one's clapping for you. The 1% understand this. They know that big results don't come from one big effort. They come from 1,000 small efforts stacked on top of each other, day after day, week after week, year after year. Consistency builds trust. First, with yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, you start trusting yourself. Every time you show up, even when you're tired, even when it's inconvenient, you prove to yourself that you are reliable. You are disciplined. You are unstoppable. Most people break promises to themselves constantly. They say they'll work out, but they don't. They say they'll wake up early, but they hit snooze. They say they'll start that project, but they binge Netflix instead. The 1% make a different choice. They treat their own word like law. Invisible progress is still progress. One of the hardest parts of the journey is doing the work and not seeing immediate results. But that's exactly when most people quit. They think nothing's happening. They're wrong. Progress is often invisible, like the bamboo tree that grows roots underground for years before it breaks the surface. The 1% trust the process. They understand that real growth happens long before the world notices. They stay patient. They stay consistent. Small wins compound into big wins. You don't climb a mountain with one giant leap. You take one step, then another, then another. Over time, those steps add up to something massive. Consistency turns habits into results. Habits turn into identity. Identity turns into destiny. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. Consistency requires boredom. Here's an ugly truth. Success isn't always exciting. A lot of the work is repetitive. It's showing up to the gym. It's making those cold calls. It's writing one more page. It's studying one more chapter. Winners are willing to be bored. They're willing to embrace the repetition because they know that's where greatness is built. Most people crave variety. They want every day to feel new and exciting, not the 1%. They understand that mastery comes from embracing the grind. When it gets hard, you're on the right track. When you're tired, frustrated, and bored, that's when you're getting stronger. That's when you're separating yourself from the masses. That's when you're building the muscles, mental, emotional, and physical, that you'll need to win. Most people tap out. They say it's too hard. They say, maybe this isn't for me. The 1%, they say, good, this is where I grow. Show up, no matter what. If you want to change your life, make this your mantra. I show up, every day, no matter what. Not just when you're motivated, not just when it's easy, not just when you feel like it. Every day, no matter what. That's the real secret. That's what the 1% know. You want to win? Be consistent, even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching, because that's where the real transformation happens. Consistency isn't glamorous, it's not sexy, but it's undefeated. If you commit to showing up every day, no matter what, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Start today. Start now. Stay consistent. Your future self is counting on you. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Comfort is killing your dreams. Growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. Growth doesn't happen when life is easy. Growth happens when you're stretched, when you're pushed, when you're tested. The 1% understand this better than anyone. They don't run from discomfort. They run toward it. Because they know that pain is the price of progress. Pain is the gateway to power. You can't build strength without struggle. You can't build toughness without trials. You can't build greatness without grit. Every rep you push through at the gym, every hour you grind at work, every uncomfortable conversation you face head on, it all adds up. It all makes you stronger. Comfort zones are cages. Most people live their entire lives trapped inside their comfort zone. They never take risks. They never challenge themselves. They never see what they're truly capable of. They settle for good enough. They settle for safe. They settle for a life that's a fraction of what it could see. But not you. Not if you want to join the 1%. You must get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the game. Your comfort zone is like a muscle. The more you push it, the bigger it gets. The more you step outside of it, the more powerful you become. The first time you do something scary, it feels impossible. The second time, it feels a little easier. The third time, it feels normal. And pretty soon, what used to terrify you becomes your new baseline. Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. The discomfort you feel today, it's temporary. It's a small price to pay for the pride and power you'll feel when you break through. The 1% understand that short-term pain leads to long-term freedom. They sacrifice comfort today for greatness tomorrow. Most people avoid pain. Champions chase it. Most people back down when things get hard. Champions lean in. When you feel fear, move forward. When you feel doubt, move forward. When you feel pain, move forward. That's how you win. That's how you grow. Remember this: no challenge, no change, no pain, no power, no risk, no reward. You were not born to stay comfortable. You were born to conquer. Embrace the pain. Chase the challenge, break the limits. Your best life is on the other side of your comfort zone. Now go out there and earn it. Here's the brutal truth: there is no perfect time. There never will be. Waiting for the right moment is the ultimate lie your mind tells you to keep you comfortable, to keep you small, to keep you safe. The 1% know this. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait for everything to feel ready. They move, they act, they create momentum. The perfect moment is a myth. If you're waiting for fear to disappear before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. If you're waiting to feel ready, you'll die waiting. The conditions will never be perfect. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be risk. There will always be fear. Do it anyway. Action creates clarity. You don't need a perfect plan. You need to start. Movement beats meditation. Action beats anxiety. Progress beats perfection. The 1% understand that clarity doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing. You figure it out on the way. You adjust course as you go. You learn by moving, not by sitting on the sidelines. Indecision is a dream killer. Most people lose not because they lack talent, but because they hesitate. They doubt. They overthink. They stall. While they wait, the 1% act. While they ponder, the 1% produce. While they hesitate, the 1% hustle. Take massive imperfect action. You won't have all the answers. You won't know every step. You will make mistakes. Good. Mistakes are proof you're trying. Failure is part of the process. Every successful person you admire once looked like a beginner. They stumbled, they fumbled, they failed, but they moved. Speed wins. In today's world, speed matters. Not reckless speed, not sloppy speed, decisive speed, courageous speed. The speed of someone who refuses to sit back and watch life pass them by. The 1% act with urgency. They know opportunities have a shelf life. They know time is the one resource they can't get back. You either make moves or make excuses. Excuses sound good. Excuses sound smart. Excuses even sound logical, but they won't get you where you want to go. Action will. Even small action. Even scared action. Even imperfect action. Done is better than perfect. Starting messy is better than never starting at all. The clock is ticking. Every day you wait, your dream gets further away. Every day you stall, someone else is working. Someone else is building. Someone else is taking the spot you think is reserved for you. Life rewards action takers. Life punishes procrastinators. You have to move now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Start the business, send the message, apply for the job, join the gym, have the hard conversation, write the first page, take the first step. It's not about feeling ready. It's about being willing to fail, willing to look foolish, willing to get uncomfortable. That's what separates the 1% from everyone else. Final word. Your future isn't built on dreams. It's built on decisions. It's built on actions. Move first, move fast, move boldly. Because action, not intention, is what changes your life. And you already know what you need to do. Now go do it. Let's get something straight. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the path to success. The 1% understand this better than anyone. They don't fear failure. They don't hide from it. They embrace it. They seek it. Because they know every failure carries a lesson, and every lesson carries the seed of future victory. Failure is feedback, not final. When you fail, it's not the end of the story. It's information. It's your map. It's the universe pointing out what needs to be sharpened, what needs to be improved. Most people treat failure like a dead end. The 1% treat it like a detour. Adjust, adapt, advance. The only true failure is quitting. As long as you're still moving, still learning, still fighting, you haven't failed. Quitting, that's the real failure. The 1% understand that setbacks are setups for comebacks. They get knocked down, and they get right back up. Every single time. Fail fast, fail forward, fail fearlessly. The faster you fail, the faster you learn. The faster you learn, the faster you succeed. Don't tiptoe through life trying to avoid mistakes. Sprint toward your goals, knowing you'll trip, stumble, and fall. And knowing that's part of the deal. Perfectionism is the enemy. Waiting to be perfect before you move is a form of self-sabotage. The 1% know they'll never be perfect. They don't aim for perfect. They aim for progress. They launch messy. They adjust live. They iterate and improve as they go. Failure builds toughness. Every time you fail and get back up, you're building resilience. You're getting harder to break. You're becoming the kind of person who can handle bigger dreams, bigger risks, bigger rewards. Without failure, you stay soft. Without failure, you stay fragile. You have to earn your success. Success isn't handed out. It's earned in the trenches. It's earned through broken plans, through sleepless nights, through bruised egos. The 1% are willing to pay the price. Are you? Remember this. Every champion was once a beginner. Every master was once a disaster. Every success story is built on a mountain of failures. Failure is temporary. Regret is forever. You can live with failing. You can live with falling short. What you can't live with is knowing you never even tried. What you can't live with is the regret of playing small. The 1% choose courage over comfort. They bet on themselves. They risk falling on their face. They risk embarrassment. They risk loss. Because they know the biggest risk is never taking any risk at all. Final word. Failure isn't fatal. Failure isn't final. Failure is the fire that forges greatness. Get out there. Swing big. Fall hard. Get up faster. Chase your dreams with everything you've got. And if you fall, smile. Because now you're playing at the level where success lives. The only way you lose is if you stop. Keep going. Keep fighting. Keep failing forward. Because the 1% mindset demands it, and you're capable of it.